this is clearly a violation of several UN resolutions, but nothing seems to work. What can the international community do to deter North Korea once and for all?
Well, actually, I'm glad that you brought up the issue of sanctions, because I think that's the context of this test that hasn't gotten quite the attention that it deserves. If you put together the fact that the South Koreans have closed Kaesong, you have this UN Security Council resolution following the fourth nuclear test, you've got new banking sanctions instituted by the United States, I think that North Korea is on the verge of feeling quite substantial economic distress. And so part of the effort here is to get attention focused back on North Korea, so that perhaps they think they can get some relief from the sanctions that have been instituted recently.
And so perhaps this could be leveraged then to try to get some ears to be opened and a little bit of assistance. You know, it's interesting because in the neighbourhood, as Zane was saying, I mean, everybody in the neighbourhood has been warning them not to, but crucially also China, their only friend, has been saying, you know, rein it in. China's concerns are that if he keeps doing this, it's going to give the US an excuse to put more troops in the area, and of course the missile defence system.
Well, in some ways, this test could actually be seen as aimed at China, because obviously China is not interested in seeing North Korea develop a missile program or the nuclear program. They've been quite adamant on that, in part because the fact that it strengthens the U.S. alliance relations with both Japan and Korea, and obviously it generates responses such as the ballistic missile defense system called THAAD, which is we're now discussing deploying that system in South Korea. So China can't be happy at this. But from North Korea's perspective, I think there's a declaration of independence that they're not going to be pushed around on either the nuclear or missile issue by China, despite the fact that they're increasingly economically dependent on China.
So, Stefan, I mean, if this is the Musudan, this would be the fifth failed attempt. Kim has carried out many more missile tests than his father. Why is he in such a rush? Just explain that to us.
Well, because to put it very simply, a nuclear weapon is useless unless you can deliver it. And they obviously don't have the Air Force capabilities to deliver a nuclear weapon. The submarine route is technologically probably the most demanding of the three legs of any triad. And that leaves basically the missile program. So you can develop a nuclear weapon and a device, and they've tested 4 times now, but unless you have some way of delivering it, it doesn't have any strategic value. So the missile program has to be seen not in its conventional light, but as a component of the race to develop a nuclear capability.
And your leverage suggestion is very interesting, whether, you know, he's actually reaching out by having a test, whether it works or it fails. I mean, one imagines Kim Jong-un is Kim Jong-un, and we don't know all that much about him, but even if he does miniaturize a nuclear warhead, he does put it on a Musudan, he does get the Musudan to actually work. I mean, he would certainly realize that if he used it, his country would cease to exist in about 10 minutes.
Well, obviously, nuclear weapons aren't used in the sense of being exploded. They're used as a way to deter. They're used as a way to leverage. They're used as a way to protect other things you may be doing on the conventional front, because they raise the costs of us taking any action vis-a-vis North Korea. So from North Korea's perspective, the use of the nuclear weapon isn't its use, if you get my meaning, but it's its other strategic value, particularly with respect to deterring, but also bargaining over the ultimate status of North Korea's nuclear program. Obviously, the farther along they are, the higher the bribe price that the external community has to pay for them to give it up.